Tonight, we have an update to the breaking news we covered all afternoon in Dallas. In the past 2 hours, Dallas Fire Rescue confirmed at least 3 people were killed in that explosion, including a child. And crews are sifting through debris right now, searching for any other victims. Authorities blocked off multiple streets around the Clyde Apartments at 9th and Patton Avenue. Here's a live look at the 2-story building leveled by the blast. Crews are still on the scene right now and expect to be there all night. Dallas Fire Rescue says they got the call about a gas leak at 12:47, and the building blew up before the first crew arrived 2 minutes later. The blaze quickly escalated to the point 120 firefighters had to be called in. Paramedics rushed 3 people to the hospital. 1 is in critical condition right now, but the other 2 could go home tonight. 2 others drove themselves to a hospital with minor injuries. We have team coverage tonight. Jobin Puttaker has new information on how residents are doing right now, and Cole Sullivan has an update from investigators.
Chris, right now investigators are still here on scene. They expect to be here through the next day as well as they continue to sift through this rubble. They actually had to bring heavy equipment in to take down what remained of this apartment building. Not much there. They're using that heavy equipment to lift up the second floor so specially trained firefighters can go through inch by inch what remains by hand. The survivors say it felt like an earthquake.
It felt like the commotion was everywhere.
The blast, just before 1 o'clock, stopped them cold.
All of a sudden, you just hear a loud boom. That boom happens, and then my windows they're on the other side of the apartment.
Then they ran.
Really, the only thought that I had was, what if it explodes again?
The second floor of this 23-unit apartment building in Oak Cliff collapsed. Debris hit the bed where this woman was sleeping only minutes before.
But everything from the top of the floor, of the apartment, everything went striking down to mine.
Next came the fire, 5 alarm, more than 120 firefighters to put it out in the summer heat. For the people who live here,
That would have been my apartment.
there's nothing left but stories of survival.
I seen a little girl was climbing out the debris, and I ran over there and helped her out, walked across the street, and I heard people who was inside screaming.
First responders say 3 people didn't make it out, a child and 2 women. The County Democratic Party says activist Sylvia Collins lived here and is unaccounted for. They say she's a tireless advocate for the community.
We will continue searching the building through the excavation process and overnight until every last foot, inch of that property has been searched.
Dallas Fire says they responded to a gas leak call. The explosion happened in the 2 minutes it took them to get here. Their horror at the scale of the destruction is tough to describe.
There are a number of things that we are before we are first responders, and that is, excuse me, and that, we're parents.
You can hear the emotion in that firefighter's voice. Dallas ISD just had its last day of school yesterday, including at Adamson High School behind me. And the fear from first responders would be that since summer has started, there are more kids at home when they came upon this scene. As for what caused this, the investigation is still ongoing. The city of Dallas and Atmos Energy both say they did not have crews here, but residents told us they saw a construction crew of some kind drilling in the hours or even days before this happened just by this apartment complex. The scale of this devastation is hard to comprehend, even looking at the pictures of it all. My colleague Jobin Puttaker has been talking to neighbors who witnessed all of this happen. Jobin.
Well, Cole, some of these families have witnessed something so horrific. Then you add to that, they're grieving families. There are families trying to figure out their next steps to rebuild their lives.
They have seen a lot today. They have felt just as much.
It was really a lot to take in, I can't lie.
Before there was a fire, there was the explosion, just after noon Thursday in Oak Cliff.
The thing I know, boom.
It was very strong.
The explosion heard for miles. It would nearly level this apartment complex they know as the Clyde.
It's pretty bad. I mean, that whole apartment, it's gone.
There's nothing left, nothing.
All of your stuff.
Everything I own.
This woman says all she has left is what she's wearing.
I was laying down on my couch watching TV when
Jorge Moreno has a home.
the big explosion, the glasses of my windows blow.
right next to this.
That's my truck right there and my car right there.
Or should we say, had a home. 40 years in one place. But his worry is for his neighbors.
Because I know there's people living there. I didn't see nobody getting out.
Jorge shot this video off his phone. He captures a man in absolute shock. He was being directed to medical help. Dallas has confirmed there are 3 fatalities. One is a child.
I'm sad, I'm confused, it's unbelievable.
We witnessed families rushing to see their loved ones.
I was just trying to get there as fast as I can.
This high school was the reunification center for families, where they can find help, where Ricardo Hernandez came with bags of clothes.
When we saw this one man say that he lost everything, he even lost his pets, that saddened all of us.
A sadness felt in one embrace after another. These hugs tell you everything about how they're feeling.
My whole apartment is gone. I don't know how to feel right now.
A lot was seen and felt today in Oak Cliff, and there will be more in the days ahead for these families, for those grieving and those now in rebuilding.
Jobin, you just spoke with a natural gas expert. What did he say about the investigation?
Yeah, we talked with this gas expert just tonight following all of this, and obviously there's a lot to take in. He's an attorney who's tried a lot of these cases. He says these investigations take a very long time. It is not black and white. It is not cut and dry. In other words, there will not be an answer on what caused this, at least not immediately. And we should also mention that the city of Dallas, is putting up most of these families who have been displaced in hotels. Reporting here in Dallas, I'm Jobin Puniger.
All right, sounds like we may have to have a bit of patience. Thank you, Jobin. I want to give you some context now. Here's what the Clyde apartment building looked like before and after the explosion. It was built back in 1964 and had 23 units around a courtyard. We're still trying to confirm how many were occupied at the time. We just checked in with the Red Cross. They're working with emergency management officials to assess what residents need. Mission Oak Cliff is holding a donation drop-off tomorrow from 9 a.m. to noon. You can make a donation at its facility on Beckley Avenue. They're accepting bottled water, non-perishable food, gently used or new clothes, as well as diapers, formula, wipes, and gift cards. They're already planning a second drive on Monday, and you can always donate through missionoakcliff.org.